Yo, before we get started with the video, guys, let me know in the comment section right now what region you're going to be playing Arena Breakout in. And also, let me know, because there's going to be a lot of information and I'm not going to be able to cover all of that in this one video. Let me know in the comment section below what it is in specific that you want me to go in-depth detail on, like how do you do this, how do you find that, and if there's enough people that ask for that specific thing, I will make a video just for that thing. Anyway, I hope this video helps. Enjoy. Arena Breakout is hardcore. When I say hardcore, if you forget to manually put bullets in your magazine, you won't be able to reload. If your arm gets shot, it can be broken. When it's broken, you reload slower. You can even bleed to death. So yeah, it's as hardcore as shooter games get. So forget about all the other shooter games you played before. This one's in a league of its own. It's time to learn something new. Realism. One of the things that makes Arena Breakout hardcore and unique is its ultra realistic mechanics. For example, when getting shot, you don't just take normal hit damage. You can also end up bleeding, which makes you take damage as you sprint. Or your leg can be broken when shot, which massively slows your movement speed. Even how you put items in your backpack has a specific system that you need to understand. Look guys, this guide won't cover everything in detail. There is just far too much info to cover. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to my channel right now and turn your notifications on, because I'll be dropping super in-depth guides for every system and mechanic in Arena Breakout to help you understand the game. Trust me, there's a lot to learn. Might as well drop a like while you're at it. Anyway, moving on. Arena Breakout is a tactical extraction shooter game. In a nutshell, you go in a map known as raids and you loot for items to bring back to your base and or kill enemies along the way. This game heavily relies on tactics. You cannot run and gun every enemy. You cannot push an entire squad and expect to wipe them by just running up to them with an SMG. This game requires plans right before you even enter a map. Even before you get in a fight, there's a couple of things that you need to do to increase your chances of surviving that fight. But you know what though guys, this is why I absolutely love this game. It's a completely fresh style that lets me have a change of pace from games like Apex Mobile and COD Mobile. Next, the stamina system. Speaking of tactical, you need to learn about the stamina system in this game ASAP. There are two types of stamina. First one is the leg stamina. Second one is your arm stamina. Leg stamina. This bar goes down when you sprint or jump. When this fully depletes, you won't be able to run or jump. You can still walk though, which helps you regain stamina over time. Arm stamina. This one goes down as you use your arms, like when jumping over something or when you aim down your weapon. It also depletes over time for as long as you're holding your weapon, for example. When this fully depletes, your aim will start to sway, making it incredibly hard to hit your target. See how realistic this game is? Yep, not even the tip of the iceberg. Health and healing system. This is the part that you need to pay very close attention to. Going into fights without having any idea about your current health status will most of the time mean you'll get clapped. I'll make a separate in-depth guide for this, so yeah, just sub and you'll know when I drop that video. Basically, getting shot can cause injuries like bleeding and fracture, which can then further cause other bad stuff. Running around not only consumes stamina, but also hydration and energy. Then you have status effects like pain, where your vision becomes worse. There's actually already a guide for every status in the game. All you need to do is go to the character screen in your base, health tab, and click this question mark. You can also do this in the middle of a raid. Not only will the screen tell you what each status means, you'll also find out how to cure them. And on your character HUD, your health status are shown in two different places. This model shows the damage you've taken on specific body parts, and any status ailments like bleeding will be shown as a separate icon here. Next, inventory management. Good lord. Okay, so inventory management is probably the most important thing in this game. I don't care what anyone says, but if you cannot manage your inventory well, you won't have efficient raids. You can spend up to 3 business days trying to pick loot up. You might not even survive raids at all if you forget to pack properly before going in raids. Here, check out how the bag's inventory system works. Let's have a look at this backpack over here. So on the left hand side, you got a backpack picture, right? And then on the right hand side, you got the slots, which represents the space that your backpack has. But it's not quite as simple as that. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll grab this gun and put it on the top here, on the top space. It fits because it's a 5x2 slot gun. And when I say 5x2, it needs 5 horizontal slots and 2 vertical slots to be put in the bag. Now, if you have a look at the bottom section over here, you'll see some white lines that are a little bit more shown and obvious than the rest of the lines above it. This basically shows you how the bag is compartmentalized and having different pockets that matches the actual bag. So have a look at this. See these 2 pockets on the side of the bag? These side pockets are these 2 slots in the inventory inventory section, which means that the bottom area of your bag doesn't actually have a 5x2 area. It has one area in the middle, which represents this front compartment, and two side pockets, which represents these two pockets on the bag. Meaning, if I try to pick up this gun and try to put it on the bottom section, it will say not enough space, because this is broken down into 3 different compartments, which is one in the middle and 2 on the side. Which means if you got 2 guns in your main backpack, don't think that when you loot an enemy, you have another space for a full weapon at the bottom of your bag. So don't spend so long trying to fit that in and try and wonder, why is it not working? Why is the game bugging? This is basically a compartmentalized mechanic of the bag. This system works the same with what we call the rigs, which is your tactical utility vest or whatever else you want to call it. So as you can see, the white lines are really obvious, right? So it's telling you that you've got 8 vertical pockets that you can put stuff in, which means you cannot bring an UMP-45 and then try and put it on your rig, because you're not going to really put it in the pocket. So if you're wearing that vest in real life, you're not going to be able to put this gun in these small pockets, right? So everything that this game has is trying to make it as realistic as possible as to real life situations. So when you're out there, you kill an enemy, you've got a couple of guns in your bag, don't think you've got another space for a big gun in your bag. You've only got one space for a tiny gun and 2 compartments on the side to maybe put your, your bottle of water in. There we go. And a med kit. Boom. Just like that.
I told you it's crazy realistic.
Weapon system. Not gonna lie, the weapon system in Arena Breakout is confusing as hell. But once you understand it, it actually makes a lot of sense. First of all, let's cover the weapon system and how it works when you go out in raids. In your base, you go into your storage and put your bullets in your mag. You then put that mag into your gun. Then you bring out a spare mag or 2 and put it in your rig. If you don't bring spare mags and you try to reload, your character will have to take that equipped mag out of your gun and put bullets inside it one by one. And when you have spare mags, you can quickly swap to that mag that already has bullets inside it. Pro tip, make sure your spare mags are in your rig, not in your backpack. If they're in your backpack, quick reload will not work. Basically, just imagine how it works in real life. How is a soldier going to quick reload to a spare mag if that spare mag is inside his backpack behind him? Then we have the most confusing feature of the game, the Gunsmith. I'll cover this in a separate video because holy crap, this thing is insane. But basically, you can fully customize your gun with tons of attachments. But sometimes, you will need to have specific attachments equipped before you can equip a different attachment. Yup, I told you, it can get confusing because you'll need to remember specific attachments that works with specific attachments. PvPvE. Arena Breakout is PvPvE, which stands for player versus environment. During raids, not only will you see real players, you'll also find bots. Sometimes in some maps, you'll also find boss bots. Boss bots are specific map bots and are mean as hell. I've personally not been lucky enough to find one yet, but I've been told that bosses spawn with a bunch of bodyguards around them. They're incredibly hard to fight, but rewards good loot. High risk, high rewards, basically. Lastly, you will also face militant players. These are real players disguised as bots. They won't be getting shot by actual bots unless they shoot at the real bots first. These players are often broke and just running around to look for loot to bring back to the base and sell. They might also be doing tasks and missions, or they just want to generally troll. Either way, treat enemy that you find as a real player so you don't get caught off guard. Leveling system. As you do raids and tasks, you'll earn character experience points. The higher your level, the more contacts you unlock. The more contacts you unlock, the more stuff you can buy or craft. And likewise, the higher your character level, the more stuff you can buy from each contact. It's a pretty easy system to understand, but definitely one that you shouldn't ignore. In fact, power leveling early by focusing on only doing tasks will help you get a head start. I'll teach you guys how to power level in Arena Breakout in guess what? A separate video. Guess what you need to do to find that video early though? Subscribe with notifications on. Good job, soldier. Last but definitely not the least, in Arena Breakout, everything is a risk. From the moment you spawn in the map, you're immediately at high risk. Why? Because someone might have spawned near you, and if you run towards the wrong direction, you might be running into their crosshair. What I'm trying to say is, treat every move that you make with extreme caution. But yeah, as I said at the start of the video, if there's anything that you'd specifically want me to break down and explain ASAP, let me know in the comment section below, and if enough people request for that video, I'll make that video. Peace.